Good morning, YouTube. I am, that's a nice view back there. I'm over here by the waterfall, so if it's a little loud, that's why. Anyways, it's a beautiful day here today. I kind of wanted to talk today about a kind of sensitive topic, but I'm not going to get too deep into it. I want to talk about religion and how the effect, zooming your lens out to see the bigger picture, the effect that has in, maybe previous beliefs, at least for me. I'm going to explain this about myself, right? This is my experience. So if we go back to the metaphor of being in your bubble, when you're in your bubble, it's an echo chamber and you're only hearing what you already believe and what you already agree with, right? When you leave your bubble and you start exploring and looking at other things and zooming out your lens and seeing how things all fit together, it's really hard to get back in that bubble. And you might be able to force yourself back into that bubble for a while. That might work for a while or several years even, but eventually, once you learn something, it's just like when you see something, you can't unsee it. Well, once you uncover a lot of hidden truths, realities, facts, things that have been covered up and twisted and manipulated, and once you see how that all fits together, and once you see how far back this goes, and there's just so many things, there's so many layers, it's really hard to go back to your previous way of thinking. So that's why that's kind of where I stand on religion. As far as organized religion, I see it as a tool to manipulate and control. I mean, that's what research kind of will do to you if you really dig in and just kind of see how there are things going on at different levels that we don't even perceive, and you just have to, question what's going on. So I want to talk about briefly about a book that I've read that was very interesting, and I found it very beneficial in kind of opening my mind to other possibilities and other ways of thinking, and maybe showing me that the narrative and our way of thinking about things might be very limited. And there might be other options, other possibilities. So Hyperspace by Michio Kaku. Michio Kaku is a scientist, and this book is from the 1980s, I think, late 1980s, early 1990s, something like that. It's very interesting, and he explains the universe kind of in this really different way that I had never thought about, and I just found it very helpful, very beneficial. It's almost like a story. It's very brilliantly written. I highly recommend it. I'll leave a link to the information below. He just kind of draws from his personal experiences as well, and kind of gives the metaphor of a fish. Oh, here comes this guy. He's going to be really loud. Yeah. So back to Michio Kaku. He draws upon his personal experience as a child, and just as questions that he had, and he has this metaphor, this really good metaphor about a fish in the water. Like, this fish has a very limited view of his world, which is all underwater. Once he reaches the surface, like the surface level of the water, where that's the surface, he might be able to poke his little nose out, or even maybe his eyeball, get his eyeball up there, but he can't really go out and experience the rest of the world that we experience. So he has no concept. His little brain cannot even wrap around that, right? No concept of what else there is out there. And that's kind of how we are. We have a very limited understanding of the universe and everything that's going on in, all over the place. And it's really hard for us. We are that fish trapped in this dimension and on this planet, that we can't poke our eyeball up and go exploring somewhere else. I mean, we can. I'm saying that sarcastically, or not even sarcastically, but that's what we're being told, is that we can't. But we can through different ways. But we're being, you know, forced to accept this narrative and this view of the world that's very limited. And I just question it. I question it when there's a lot of evidence to support other things going on in the world. So that's kind of where I stand on that. And once you do leave your bubble, it is hard to get back. It's very hard to get back into that bubble. And like I said, you can try to do it for a while, and it might work for a while, but eventually you're going to leave it again. So that's my video for today. Thanks to all my subscribers for watching. I apologize for that loud that loud guy. But anyways, I will keep doing research and posting. Thanks for watching.